The phone rang while I was standing under chandeliers that cost more than my yearly salary ever did. 71 missed calls, all from the same number, my daughter-in-law. I stared at the screen, unmoving, as if it were a dead insect pinned under glass. Around me, the villa breathed quietly. Polished marble floors, Swiss mountain light spilling through floor-to-ceiling windows, silence bought with money and patience. The irony tasted metallic. 2 days earlier, she'd laughed into that same phone. "If you want to join Thanksgiving, come wash the dishes." Her voice had been sharp, entitled, practiced. I had replied with a single word. "Enjoy." Now her panic was vibrating through the glass. I didn't answer. I poured myself a drink instead, slow, precise. The kind of movement that says, "I am not surprised, only confirmed." My son's words echoed, uninvited. "You have no ambition." He'd said it with his mother's smirk stitched onto his face. The same face that used to look up at me when I worked night shifts at the casino. The same eyes that watched me come home smelling of recycled air and regret. He'd chosen her side. The cheating mother. The louder story. The easier lie. I lifted my glass and watched the mountains sit unmoved in the distance. They didn't care who believed me. They never do. I didn't always work at a casino. That was the lie they told themselves. I worked there because it was invisible. Because people don't look closely at men they think they've already defeated. They see uniforms, name tags, a ceiling. My wife saw something else. Opportunity. She learned how to smile while deleting messages. How to explain late nights with borrowed excuses. How to sleep next to me while planning exits with someone whose ambition she respected, more than loyalty. I noticed the changes before the betrayal revealed itself. Perfume that didn't belong to her. Passwords that suddenly mattered. Conversations that stopped when I entered a room. And then my son. He stopped asking questions. He started judging. "You're stuck," he told me once, not unkindly. Worse, dismissively. "Mom says you never tried." I didn't correct him. I watched. I let the narrative calcify around me like concrete. Because concrete is useful once it sets. It hides foundations. The divorce came fast, clean, surgical. She left with dignity she hadn't earned and money she didn't understand. My son went with her. That was the deeper cut. Not the infidelity, not the manipulation, the alignment. While they moved on loudly, I moved quietly. The casino was never the end game. It was reconnaissance. I watched people lose control over numbers, over impulses, over themselves. I learned patterns, risk tolerance, emotional leverage. At night, I studied markets the way gamblers study tells. I started small. Offshore holdings, shell companies, capital flowing where attention didn't. No one noticed. Why would they? I was the loser dad with a night job. I let my son believe it. Let my ex-wife brag about her new life. Her successful partner, her upgraded social circle. I even let my daughter-in-law talk down to me. People reveal their true shape when they think you're beneath them. I collected everything. Screenshots, bank trails, property records. I didn't need revenge yet. I needed timing. The truth arrived quietly. An envelope slid across a conference table in Zurich. No Lagos, no drama. Inside confirmation. 50 million. Legitimate liquid mine. I didn't smile. Power isn't loud when you're used to being underestimated. Weeks later, I sent a single photograph to a family group chat I hadn't spoken in for years. A balcony. Snow-draped mountains. A glass of something expensive catching the light. No caption. The reaction was immediate. My son called first. His voice cracked halfway through my name. "Dad, is this—" "Yes," I said. Silence. Then my ex-wife. Anger, accusations, questions that didn't deserve answers. I listened. Calm, detached. When she finally stopped, I said, "You cheated because you thought I was small. You were wrong." I ended the call. The dishes comment was my favorite mistake of theirs. Because arrogance leaves fingerprints, I forwarded the photo publicly this time. Social media, mutual contacts, a quiet ripple. Then I blocked them all, except one. "My son?" I answered on the 70-second call. "I didn't fail," I told him before he could speak. I waited. He tried to apologize. Tried to explain. I cut him off gently. "You chose a story where I was nothing," I said. "Live in it." I didn't yell. I didn't threaten. I removed access. That's the cruelest power move there is. I sit on my balcony now, watching clouds erase peaks and redraw them again. Control feels different than I imagined. Quieter. Heavier. I don't miss them. I miss the version of myself who thought loyalty was louder than success. The phone is silent. I leave it that way. Some victories don't need witnesses. They just need distance.